Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trail Mix, where the nuts might be a little stale, but the company is always fresh.
I feel like we're at a turning point. I can't say it enough, but you know, things have got to change. But we're coming together, and if any place, it's going to be Minnesota, or like, get out of here. We don't want you. You have no right to be here. You're destroying our communities. Just leave.
Get back to Stir later because he had some stuff to say on Trail Mix that I kind of enjoyed. And speaking of that, let me explain where you are if you got here and you don't know, and maybe even care. We are Trail Mix. For 20 years, we've been a group of folks on the internet. Our little corner of the internet. So it's kind of a boutique site for news and commentary, and it's all user supported. People give me a little chump change here and there on my donor button. Other than that, we don't have any ads or any sponsors or any axe to grind. Other than we're just a bunch of folks who care and like to talk to each other, and we enjoy welcoming new folks too. Today on Trail Mix, we're doing something kind of different because tomorrow, for those of you who are unaware, is the 250th anniversary of the publication of Thomas Paine's Common Sense. Although I have discovered a little dispute, it might be today. The official anniversary, they say, is tomorrow, the 10th, but I've learned from something I saw this morning it might actually be today. And we do have Jamie in the house, and I think maybe Stir. We'll try Stir again. You there, Stir?
It says I'm backstage.
Well, now you're on. Here's what happens, and for others who'd wonder, when you click in, I just prefer to make people automatically get on stage, but this platform makes me moderate that. So I have to click a button to put you on stage, and I've gotten better at seeing that. There's a little very faint noise that I hear when somebody comes on backstage, and I'm supposed to go click you on stage. And sometimes I hear it, and sometimes I don't, because I talk a lot. So sometimes I talk over. Jamie's there.
In the show.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Everybody's here now. I'm going to play what I started with because I love this woman. I've got a bunch of protests from all over the country that I clipped out this morning. We can play off and on, but this woman right here summed it up to me because I think she's right. I think we're at a turning point on these ice creams.
I feel like we're at a turning point. I can't say it enough, but you know, things have got to change. But we're coming together, and if any place, it's going to be Minnesota, or like, get out of here. We don't want you. You have no right to be here. You're destroying our communities. Just leave.
Oops. All right, now you can hear me. I'm learning to hit the unmute button too. Technical glitches make us relatable. I heard a protest last night going on, and I checked it out, and there were about 1,000 people two blocks from me marching down to the White House, which is about 0.2 of a mile away from U Street down there. And so it's in Boston, it's in Cincinnati, it's in Los Angeles, all of this last night. So what do y'all think? Is that too optimistic to say that we're at a turning point and the public's trying to finally waking up to this ICE stuff?
I don't know, honestly, whether people are just in the excitement of the moment, or whether the next time they show up someplace new, if they get that sort of response.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see
on their agenda. I'll believe it when I see it.
I think Stir just said that himself. You'll believe it when you see it. So I still got some convincing to do, I see.
No, I just think that they are so hateful, they really don't care. And, you know, how,
It could be.
No, they got to go all the way.
yeah.
Well, you said yesterday, Stir, that they're getting the riot they wanted. They want these riots, but so far these people are not taking the bait. They are being peaceful.
They keep pushing, they'll get it.
They'll get it. They'll get it. I mean, here's a woman. Where's this woman? I saw this just a little while ago. They were dragging through the street, something all through the snow. Let's see. Oh, here she is. I don't know what's going on here. This is crazy. Oh, I got to take that off the stage, and then I put her on the stage. Okay, there we go. Now, this is a woman they're dragging through the snow in Minneapolis for whatever reason. I don't know why. Somebody said yesterday, why do you laugh at these things? I can't explain it. It's not meant. I guess I'm just so amazed. It makes me laugh for some weird reason. You hear in the background they're shouting, "What's your name? What's your name?" This is a key thing about these ICE guys. They never identify themselves, not even as who they are. You know, I mean, as police or anything. They just show up in masks and start dragging people around. I don't know. I think it's time to get pretty outraged about it. Now there goes Stir again. We gotta get Stir a new phone or something. I'm gonna add you again. All right, I'm adding you again. You back?
I don't know. It's doing it by itself now.
Yeah. Oh, let's see what we got over here. Oh, and Frank Ruman, why are you making stuff up? Well, okay, tell me what I'm making up, and I'll answer you. I'm just showing clips here of what's happening in the world. I didn't make up that woman getting dragged through the snow, or that woman talking earlier about how this is a turning point. And then better go to your local leering. We're going to leer now. Cowboy RL wants us to learn how to leer. I don't really want to leer. Anybody else want to leer? We got to go to our leering center, according to Cowboy.
Learning center.
I don't know. I'm not in favor of leering. And Frank, everything you just said on that clip is basically opinion. What? Huh?
Well, yes, it's your opinion.
Well, I'm not denying that. I guess I do have opinions. I'm going to state them, but I'm showing clips of things that are happening. Everything. Here we go. They showed up. They didn't tell nobody. They just started dragging people. You really think that's the way it went? That's what the people there said. I wasn't there, so I'm just quoting them.
Noam was basically saying that they have immunity, and if people don't back up, then they can do anything they want.
Yeah.
So if they're shoving the line off the street.
Good morning, KT.
To do anything.
KT's in the house. KT, well, you know, here's another thing. All right, here is a woman. All right, I'm not going to make anything up there, Frank. Let's see what's Frank. Okay, I'm with that. Let's all respectfully disagree. Whenever we disagree, let's do it respectfully. All right, I'm for that.
Well, Katie's right there where it's happening. Let her tell it.
Yep. And while we wait for Katie to wait, here's a woman I caught on in a video from New Orleans who is confronting the ICE agents who went to their neighborhood, knocked on a bunch of doors. Earlier in this video, the ICE agents go into this neighborhood. They knock on a bunch of doors. They're asking for people. They don't find whoever they're looking for, and they get back in their cars and drive away. So here's just something that happened on the streets of New Orleans with a woman confronting ICE agents.
When I leave my kids like 3 days, I'll be missing them because I'm a single mom. Y'all did it wrong. In December, y'all know how people come together. And the kids, I'm telling you, I do a lot of notary stuff. Babies are being left behind. That shit breaks my heart. That's the only reason I'm doing it. Pero ellos están haciendo su trabajo. ¡Ay! ¡Migración me la peleó de tampoco así, papá, porque están haciendo su.
So anyway, they interviewed her later, and she was talking about some of her neighbors who were taken by ICE, and they left their kids, and the neighbors had to take the kids in, and the kids, of course, didn't know what was going on. But I mean, plenty of people don't seem to be bothered about that.
No, there've been several instances where children were just left on the street. You know, no attempt to wait until someone could come get them.
Obviously gifted. There's a screen name for you. And they were also snatching people up for not showing papers. They probably are.
Only your papers.
Yeah, which actually is not a crime, but that's probably what they're doing. And Donna, anyone interfering with ICE should be thrown in prison. Well,
Why?
Let's talk about that. Why? Yeah, that's the question. Why? And what is interfering? I mean, that one right there standing there just giving her opinion to the ICE agents about what they're doing. Was that interfering? Should she have been put in prison? There's a good case. That one we just showed. Let's see. Kay saying, yes, we had one here like that. I guess she's talking about what you were saying, Jamie, about them leaving people in the streets when they pick them up. And we got Lloyd Davis weighing in. The willing blindness to actual facts and reality to parrot the orange clown's lies and rhetoric, obvious fabrications and misinformation. It's just absolutely. What's the rest of that say? Oh,
amazing how they are so wrong.
Yeah, it got cut off on my screen. Oh, that's because I didn't hit the down button. It's obviously amazing how they are so wrong.
But what bothers me is that he is just totally acting as a dictator. You know, take actions first and explain it later. There's no permission, no license, no willingness to see what is actually needed. You know, it's like adding this second story to the West Wing that he wants to do now.
I mean, yeah, you just do it now and explain it later, I guess. Now, let me see. We got a response here from Dono. This is what say we asked why would it be illegal to interfere with ICE? He, I don't know. Because they're doing their job and you're not allowed to interfere with federal agents in the performance of their job. Well, here we got a difficult case in the way these ICE folks are operating as to whether that's legally doing their job or not, I guess. I mean, and whether we have a right to respond to it. I don't know what interfering. I mean, you know, if you stand there and say, "Hey, F you" or whatever, I don't see how that's interfering with them doing their job.
Who
And
gets
there are
to
very
decide what
specific laws
interference
about warrants.
Who gets to decide what is interference?
Yeah, that's the thing. They get to call it on the spot. Obviously, gifted because Dono is a racist in these types of situations. I don't know that Dono's a racist, obliviously gifted. I don't know how you can just start saying that.
Well, you can because of actions in the past.
Okay.
I mean,
Supports a racist.
yeah, Donald's been a racist for 40 years that we know about. He's just getting worse.
And Cowboy says if you call him a dictator, you're a moron. Okay.
All right.
And Frank, everybody seems
Well, it
to
is
think it's a
pointless
debate.
to call him a dictator.
What's that?
It is pointless to call him a dictator. I mean,
Yeah. Okay, he acts like a dictator. How's that?
He wants to be a dictator.
yeah, he'd like.
Well,
to
I
be
mean,
one.
I ask you, folks who are saying is read the New York Times piece interview that he did yesterday, a lengthy one. I actually put the free link on Trail Mix. I have an account there where I can do gift links down then, which I put on Trail Mix. And if that isn't a dictator talk, I mean, he talks about he doesn't need the law, he doesn't need international law. That they asked him what do you perceive as the restraints on your authority, your power? And he says just his own morals,
My brain.
And I mean, I ask anybody who questions us calling him a dictator to read that interview and tell me if that doesn't sound like a dictator talking. And I had to put up my stirrism of the day, of the morning. This was my favorite stir. I like this one. We only kidnap little pushover dictators. We don't kidnap the bears. We only kidnap the chipmunks.
Yeah, he's going to kowtow to Putin because Putin's got bigger weapons.
Yeah, I noticed everybody's getting worked up about Trump. I got some email this morning from a Trump guy that I correspond with, and he's getting who actually opposes Trump's policies on Ukraine, who wants to see us go into Ukraine more, but he still supports Trump, and he keeps looking for proof that Trump's coming around. And he sent me this thing about Trump seizing the Russian tanker, the Russian flagged tanker is signed. And my response to that was, start sending weapons back to Ukraine again and sign on to the real sanctions, and I'll believe it. But and he says, well, he's sending Putin a message by seizing that tanker. And I said, no, I think that was for our consumption, not for Putin's consumption. I think that was to prove to us that he's not owned by Putin. Well, we got Lloyd Day. It's repetitive to call. Well, that's what you're saying, Ster. It's repetitive to call him a dictator.
Yeah, he didn't need to be called anything. He just,
Yeah,
he just is.
Just is. Yeah, just let him be what he is. Doesn't need a name.
Oh, don't let him be. But
Anyway, I've got y'all. I appreciate your comments, even if they piss me off. I still read them and put them on here.
Oh, now we're being bratty children.
Yeah. So anyway, it's all there, y'all. I try to click one. There's a little button here I can click where I can highlight them here now and then, and I'll do that. But let's move on to a few other things. Let's see. I wanted to.
Oh, you were talking about Thomas Paine earlier today.
Oh yeah, I want to get into that. You had a good. You had something I hadn't heard before, and I'll put it up here.
Where he was buried? Yeah.
Yeah, I knew there was some question about that, about where Thomas Paine. We're talking about Thomas Paine, by the way, because those of you who either didn't read or it's been so long, we're celebrating Common Sense. That is the pamphlet that started it all 250 years ago, to either tomorrow or today. I'm still working on that. But anyway, 250 years ago, long before, months before July 4th, Thomas Paine wrote the real declaration for the common people on fighting the British. And so that's what we're celebrating. Anyway, he later in life became kind of a pariah because he started getting real anti-Christianity and wrote The Age of Reason and some other stuff. And so by the time he died, they just pretended he didn't exist. And so you found here, what is it, Jamie, about where he was buried?
Well,
not one single place.
Yeah, no, there's bits and pieces of him all over the world, including Australia.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild. Huh.
Cursed be he who scatters my bones.
What is that, Shakespeare or something? Oh, K-Bear's in the house. There you are, Kay.
I'm here.
Hi.
Hi.
Now I'm revving up this Thomas Paine. I thought this morning. Now I want to get K-Bear all pumped up for saving the country. Because we were all getting a little down yesterday about our prospects, and Thomas Paine is a good way to bring us back.
Yes.
Show us the way.
I did want to correct some things I said yesterday.
Okay.
We did find out who was the shooter. And believe it or not, people have doxed him. Put his address information out on
that's him
threads and stuff, and that's not good.
No, and I guess, is it okay for you? I mean, I don't know. Is it bad form for me to put his picture on here?
No. His picture is everywhere.
Except that the one showing his face is a fake created by Grok.
Yep.
You mean this one right here? This one's not fake, is it?
No, that one's real.
This one is. That one's real, but the one without a mask is not real, at least as far as we know.
Yeah, okay. People ran it through Grok. I love this. So people ran the picture through Grok and said, "Hey, Grok, please remove the murderer," and they removed the guy from the picture.
I do it myself. I'm guilty. I like to play games with Grok. Ask it things like, "Is Trump a liar?" And I actually got a response where they listed out a bunch of his. They didn't call them lies, but it's fun to do that with Grok.
That's
even about Elon Musk. I said one time, I said, "Is Elon Musk a drug addict?" And and he came back with stories about him talking about how he uses, what is that, keto something that he
ketamine.
Yeah. That's fun.
And the other thing is I was finding out more about her. She and her wife just moved here not too long ago from, I think, Colorado. And she has 2 kids that are older, like 15. I want to say like 12 or 15, or why do I think 17 in my head?
She had 2 by a first husband.
Yes, and they live with him. And then the 6-year-old's dad was in the military, and he died in 2023.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very sad. But yeah, there's now pictures of her and her wife together over the last few years. And so you're getting more of a glimpse as to who she was. And believe me, she was not a militant resistance person.
Well, no, she was not the person that Noam wants you to think she was. There's a very good chance that she was just trying to turn the car away from the guy trying to drag her out.
Exactly. And she had just dropped her 6-year-old off at school. So, and then I did find out that Minneapolis schools now are going to virtual learning for the next month.
Oh, is that right?
Yep, because of what happened the other day at Roosevelt, where the ICE agents were pepper spraying kids and tossing them to the ground. And
Now I've got this New York Post piece on here for this part of our discussion because I wrote a comment. I actually put something on their comment page for this article. I'll get into but here's what you're talking. This is the story that is driving what you're talking about, as the New York Post often does. I'm an old tracker of New York Post and how it starts these things. And so here they do this story about Good was a Minneapolis Ice Watch warrior. And the big issue with that story, as it always is with the New York Post, is the sourcing. And you get into it and look at what is actually the sourcing. And there's only one named person. They only use the first name of somebody who they say is another parent at the school where she takes her kids. And then they go on to make all kinds of connections from that. So I put this on the New York Post site for that article right here this morning. I do this down. This goes back to my former job at something called the Hotline many years ago. But the article's warrior claim is based on a single anecdote and social media inference. It cites one person saying she had informal Ice Watch training on observing agents and knowing legal rights. There's no evidence of formal training, leadership, or intent to confront law enforcement, and no major outlet corroborates the label. The headline exaggerates unverified claims. The reason
Liars.
What'd you say?
Liars.
Yeah, that's I was that's my lawyer talk right there. I was talking like a lawyer, going back to my law school training there, talking lawyer talk. But that is a pattern of theirs. And it goes back to when I ran this thing called the Hotline back in the 90s, and the New York Post, and we would quote. We were the first aggregator, pretty much, and of news articles. And we had a big following in DC, and we were a pretty big deal in those days. And so a lot of the publications would get upset if we didn't put their articles in the Hotline. And frequently with stuff like this, particularly during the Monica stuff, they would make up stuff. When the New York Post would do this, an article like this, I just wouldn't quote it, and then I'd have to explain it to them, and I always explained it to them pretty much like I did in that comment. Like their sourcing is always so thin. Their sourcing never matches the drama of their headlines. And so anyway, that's I had a good time doing that this morning.
Yeah, the Post is the clickbait of newspapers.
mm-hmm.
They were the original clickbait. Yeah. But it got on my radar screen because on my comments on my YouTube video this morning that were actually I don't know if you saw, Kay, you're in the video, but I had a bunch of the comments were quoting that article saying, "See, she's a radical right wing. Trump was right. She's a warrior," and all this kind of stuff. And then the way the chain works is the New York Post will post this, and then pretty soon it ends up on Fox, and pretty soon it's throughout the whole echo chamber. Which that particular story is already happening.
Yeah, lots of things are being twisted and turned, and it's just it's really unfortunate why we can't just take our time and find the truth instead of spinning stories and having a false narrative be out there. So, and
it is true that school where she takes her kids is considered progressive, and
oh God.
So now I guess the idea is, taking your kids to a progressive school gets you the death penalty. Is that the idea?
Probably. But honestly, I will say this. Since we found out that they just moved here recently, they just moved to Minneapolis recently. If it very well could be that this other school had closed enrollment and she had to go into this other school. It very well could be that public school was limited enrollment or whatever, especially, and I'll say this, like, for instance, there are schools around that will do limited enrollment. So they will only take 20 kids and then they close enrollment for the year unless somebody leaves and stuff. So it very well could be that kind of situation. But, I have a family member that took her kids out of public school because during COVID, Montessori schools were the only ones that were open. So she stuck her kids in Montessori schools. And so.
Well, I grew up in Central Florida where the homeschooling craze first got. I don't know about first got started, but we were in the forefront, and in Florida, and I just remember the local charter schools that got started there, and the parents who would send them there, and those. I'm sorry, but those poor kids just turned out idiots.
I agree with you. Oblivious. It isn't anybody's business where her kids went to school. They could have gone to a Catholic school. They could have gone to a Lutheran school. It could be anybody.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have mattered. It also shouldn't matter that she was in a relationship with a woman. It shouldn't matter. Nothing should matter. A life is a life. We all have the same things that are functioning on the inside, and a life is a life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very just disheartening, but we're going to stand up for it. And today in Minnesota, Governor Walz actually declared a day of unity. And there was a moment of silence at 10
wish that's
o'clock.
all it would take. I wish it only took declaring it to make it happen. But
I know. But, it gives, and the thing is, I think in a time where everything feels so, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels so thick and heavy. Having something like that just declared for Minnesota I wish he could do it for everybody, because let's face it, there was 2 other people shot in Portland the other day and left for dead.
Yeah.
And so having a ray of light gives us power. It gives us strength that propels us to move forward. And I think he was trying to do that. So.
Yeah, this Portland case, I've been tracking since last night. And there's a pattern here you see where in all these cases, and it's happening there in Minneapolis, is the federal government just takes over the investigation of anything involving their agents, and then freezes out the local and state investigators, which is unprecedented. I mean, nobody's ever heard of this happening. And it happened yesterday with this Portland thing already. You see here, I don't know if y'all can see this what it says here, but that the Portland mayor and the city council have said that they're not going to trust the federal government's investigation. There was a time when we could take them at their word. That time is past due.
No, we can't.
And that happened. Yeah. And that seemed to spur even more protests yesterday when it came out that they were just going to control the investigation. And I mean, the state, was it city or state or maybe both, that showed up at the FBI offices to participate as usual in the investigation. Mm-hmm. And they said, nope, go away. You're not involved.
From what I gathered from Jacob Fry's, Jacob Fry did a press conference yesterday that said that initially they did say, hey, you'll be part of the investigation as we do in cases like this. He said, we've never had a problem with it. So our guys showed up and they said, no, we're going to take it over.
Yeah.
And and he didn't say it, but from what the wording kind of was, it sounded like that came down from Kristi Noem to do it.
I think go up a notch,
or even higher.
Yeah, I think you. Because let's not forget, she works for Stephen Miller. I mean, that's been pretty clear.
I honestly think
That is not a question mark.
I honestly think
plenty of
Trump
proof of
is
that.
dumping Miller off in Venezuela because he wants him to be distanced a little bit. 'Cause
Maybe so.
He realizes that's a bad look for him.
Well, the thing I know a lot of Republicans remember, and it's on their minds now, is, and I keep saying it, but Stephen Miller cost them 41 seats in the House in 2017 with kids in cages, and he's doing it again. They're going to lose a midterm because of Stephen Miller.
Stephen Miller would love us to be Nazi Germany.
He sure see. Ask his own family. I mean, his brother wrote a whole piece in the Atlantic about how he thinks his own brother's a Nazi.
Oh God. Oh.
Did I overstate that one, Jamie?
No.
No, I've read the article by his brother. His whole family knows that he's and he's been strange since childhood, which is really weird.
Well, okay, so as a true crime connoisseur and researcher,
now you said that yesterday. Do you mean the TV shows like 48 Hours?
No.
And stuff? Is that what you're referring to?
Well, I watched
my,
those.
My husband and I are very into those. I thought that's what you did.
No. We watch it. Well, I got my husband into true crime, but no, I've always been into true crime actually. Even at a young age, because I grew up 30 minutes away from where Jacob Wetterling was taken. And
now refresh me. Jacob Wetter, who?
He was an 11-year-old boy who was riding bikes home from the Tom Thumb, where our video stores were, back in the 80s. This is 1989. He was riding his bike with his brother and a friend, and a truck pulled up, had 3 boys lie in the ditch, told the younger brother to run away, told the friend to run away, and took Jacob.
Uh-huh.
And so at the time, so that was October 22nd of 1989. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, Minnesota families, and especially like the small towns that are around central Minnesota, all started locking their doors and having their kids come in way before the lights came on. And, wow. I'm sorry, I'm going like Gen X on y'all, but our childhood was kind of like, it was normal, stay out until the lights come on. And it all went away. And then 27 years later, they found the guy and he's in prison.
Huh.
It's a very, very, very sad story, but I will tell you, the Wetterling family pushed through, and they always had hope that Jacob would come home. And that's how the sex offender list started, is because of that case. And more safeguards for him, and there's actually a bridge named after him. And this kid's case really affected the whole state. And so I'm dating myself. I was 8 when it happened, and I always kind of kept it in the back of my mind and stuff. But getting back to Stephen Miller, he has the qualifications to actually, like, I don't know about some of the things, but there's a trifecta with serial killers, and he has some of the qualities. So,
well, I was saying that about Kristi Noem,
Yeah, killing her dog and a goat or whatever.
Right. Yeah, it's just they start killing smaller and smaller animals in childhood and work their way up to the adult ones.
Yep. He does have all the markers. We just don't know if he's a bedwetter.
You know what? Obviously gifted. You are obviously gifted. Here's his response to your story just now. Okay. Obviously gifted. I like that story.
Oh, he's obliviously gifted. He's funnier than obvious.
Oh, it's obliviously gifted. These screens are so small. I miss some of the characters in it.
There's a guy that I watch that does skits of people talking to Trump and stuff, and he's really great. And for Stephen Miller, he always does like this Nosferatu kind of looking thing
Oh yeah.
and plays like the I'll find it and send it to you. But it's always so funny, and he's like, "Oh my god, you scared me!" Because he just pops up out of nowhere. It's really a funny one. I'll have to find it. It's
Well, you know, they say that one of the strengths that he has with Trump and why Trump just gives him so much free reign. This was in the Susie Wiles Vanity Fair article. For anybody who didn't read that, there's a lot more than what we've seen in the news about that article. That article goes into a lot about the other players in the White House, and
they're trying to stuff that down as far as they can go.
Oh, absolutely. And there's a bunch in there about Stephen Miller, and several of the others say that, you know, that Stephen Miller's connection to Trump, why Trump just lets him do anything, is he is the number one suck up on the staff to Trump. that it's even for those of them who are pretty accomplished Trump suck ups, it's embarrassing. I mean, he is just totally over the top. And the thing with Trump is, from everything I've read over the years, there is there's no place you can go that's too far, that's too unbelievable in his mind to praise him for his greatness, and that's Stephen Miller in every meeting, opens every meeting with just going on and on about what a great leader Trump is and everything. And then Trump lets him do whatever he wants. I mean, that article was very clear on that, with several of the others talking about it. They were kind of laughing about it and not, really being critical, but you get the point of what's going on there.
Well, and you get to the fact of, is the people that he hired for his second term. I'm not saying his first term was real great, but the people he hired for his second term, they're YouTubers. They're Fox News hosts.
Yeah.
Sean Duffy was on The Real World back in 1993 or 4. It's like they're all basically reality TV people, just like he is. And as they're just sucking up to him as much as possible, and the vanity is just so palpable. It's just, when did we stop hiring civil servants and people who actually wanted to do the work and make our country good, instead of just being like, oh yeah, this Project 2025 is pretty damn good, let's just roll with it.
Yeah.
But,
it's going to turn into The Handmaid's Tale pretty soon. I'm just saying.
Trump is more than willing to take half of the Nobel Prize.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, apparently that's another crazy thing is he's really, one reason he won't let that woman in Venezuela take over, the one that was the leader of the opposition and considered the most likely, is that he didn't give didn't give him her Nobel Peace Prize.
And she had said that she would gladly share it with him.
But that's not enough. He said he wants to share it. He wants her to give it to him.
Yeah, it's like watching a toddler. It's
absolutely
just the mentality. And I hate to say it, you've seen the Jesse Ventura video, right?
Oh yeah, I put that up yesterday.
Yeah,
I love that. But while you go ahead and talk about it, I'm gonna go get it because I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that.
So Jesse Ventura was our governor for one term. Don't get me wrong, he had some great things that he did, but he kind of laxed in some of the areas we really needed help in. And so, and the thing is, he ran as an independent. An independent is very hard to get elected, usually, at least in our state. But he did. And I know it was because, he was Jesse Ventura, a famous wrestler from Minnesota, blah, 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 blah. I know it was part of that. It was before I was old enough to vote, but I just was like, how can people vote for him? Like, how? But
well, that's how California got Schwarzenegger.
Yep. All stars and shiny, But yeah, he went off. he went
Yeah,
off.
here it is.
You want to know something? I'll give you a quote. We're a third world country now. You want to know why? I'm an expert. I've been to them. I spent 17 months in Southeast Asia while the draft dodger was playing golf, right? You know how I know we're a third world country? Because in third world countries, they have the military doing their police work in the cities when you walk around. I was in the Philippines the day Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law and went under dictatorship. We went from nobody to a guy with a machine gun on every corner. That's what happens in a dictatorship. In comes the military. That's what's happening here. And people better wake up to it. You want to read something? Then read your history of Germany and start comparing the tactics of what happened in 1930s Germany to what's happening here. Read history. You learn from history. Anytime you have the loss of life that needlessly happens, that's tragedy. And what occurred yesterday did not have to happen.
I like that. You want a quote? I'll give you a quote.
Yeah.
He sure did.
And I hate to say it, but he's going along the lines. And I mean, honestly, a lot of people are saying he should run for governor because we need
right?
somebody who's a fighter, and he will fight against Trump. He will tell Trump right to his face what he thinks of him. Like, he's not
What is
afraid.
going on? Do you have any idea what is going on with him these days? Because he had kind of disappeared, and until I saw this yesterday, I
No
I'd
clue
forgotten about him. Yeah,
Absolutely no clue. Honestly, I thought after he was done being governor, at some point he would come back and like try and be in like a state Congress kind of seat or something, because he did have some good policies. So I don't know.
Well, Kay, I thought about you yesterday in our conversation when I started getting into Thomas Paine, because I want to remember Thomas Paine in the next day or two because of Common, and so I started this saying yesterday this morning on I want to write a new version of Common Cause for updated to today, and I've got a link here where people can go read the original. But I'm gonna wind up the hour here with a little Ken Burns on Thomas Paine, and intended to buck us all up as we try to fight these people anyway. So glad to have you on board, Kay, and also on the pages on Trail Mix too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for showing up.
Of course.
Jamie, what you got for a parting gift?
Well, the thing I'm into lately is the assassination of Garfield.
Oh yeah.
Oh, did you watch? Have you seen that? I saw the Netflix. Do you watch the Netflix thing?
Yes, but the thing is that I'm also reading a book called Destiny of the Republic, and how bad it was for the nation, and what the aftermath of his being assassinated, and what happened to the man who murdered him. And it's a really great book if you want something to read.
Is that the book that the movie was based on? Because it was based on a book. I know that much.
I think it might have been. But I'm not sure. I just happen to I buy books and forget I have them until something reminds me that I do. And the series, the movie, made me remember that I had this. So now I'm reading it.
Did you see the Netflix movie?
Yes.
Recent one? Yeah.
Do you know what it's called so I can watch it?
What was it called? I
Oh,
think you can look up Garfield and find it. But
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's something else. Well, we'll ask. Let's ask. We can ask Gemini that. Let's see where.
Anyway, the book is Destiny of the Republic: A Tale of Madness, Medicine, and the Murder of a President.
What is name?
I'll have to tell my mom about that because she's big into that kind of stuff.
On
So
Netflix. Let's see. I've got that. Finding the right film. I love how he tells me what he's doing when he pinpointing availability on Netflix, checking the release window. You can choose to have it display these things while it's researching stuff. Come on, Gemini, that's not a hard question. All right, here it is. The Garfield movie.
it went for the Garfield movie.
What?
I think you have to put President Garfield in there.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Death by Lightning.
Death by
Okay.
light. That's one of the things I really enjoy about AI. It's so literal.
I know.
And like if you could do you learn a lot about how to prompt it when you're serious and you want real answers. You learn how to prompt it, but sometimes that's so funny. I was really puzzled. I thought it was called the Garfield movie. I thought, oh, I didn't pick that.
Oh goodness.
So Death by Lightning. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it was. So anyway, I've hooked up with C-SPAN. Where did I put that? Oh, here we go. I'm working with C-SPAN on this on the anniversary. A fellow over there, Howard Wortman, who Jamie, you've met Howard, the director of communications over at C-SPAN. Anyway, I've been talking to Howard this morning, and they've kicked up all these links on this page here that I'll put on Trail Mix. And down here is all the archive, the videos on C-SPAN, interviews with historians, book authors. I think there's even a Brian Lamb interview down here. Look at all that. Everything that's ever been on C-SPAN about Thomas Paine.
Wow.
Talk about a deep dive.
we do deep dives on Trail Mix, and then I'm going to actually interview the guy who put the archives together later for the weekend. But it is a Thomas Paine festival all weekend.
That's great, though. I hate to say it. It's awesome.
Not to mention some tuck and rolls over onto the board.
So anyway, I'm going to play here toward the end. Y'all can hang on or hop off, but I'm going to play some of this. This is from Ken Burns' Revolutionary War series on PBS. I've timed it to only play about 60 seconds, so I don't get into the YouTube copyright police don't come after me. But here's a little. I clipped out the part where it really explains what's a big deal. So talk to y'all tomorrow or another day whenever you show up. Thanks for coming in.
Bye.
We have it in our power to begin the world over again. A situation similar to the present hath not happened since the days of Noah until now. The birthday of a new world is at hand.
On January 9th, 1776, a slender pamphlet titled Common Sense was published in Philadelphia, the most important pamphlet in American history. It was signed simply, An Englishman. Its author, a recent newcomer to America, was 38-year-old Thomas Paine. The son of a Quaker corset maker and his Anglican wife, Paine had failed at his father's profession, lost his first wife and their child in childbirth, been fired from his post as tax collector, endured the collapse of a second childless marriage, and had seen his possessions auctioned off to pay his debts. During his 8-week voyage from Britain, he'd contracted typhus, and when his ship reached Philadelphia, he had to be carried off, half dead. But Paine was a master with words, skillfully weaving the latest Enlightenment philosophy with biblical references that everyone knew. And he was a violent foe of aristocracy and monarchy.
It's a much more radical document than anything that had preceded it. Common Sense takes off like an accelerator through the colony. Everyone reads it.
Excerpts from Common Sense appeared in newspapers throughout the colonies. The pamphlet would sell tens of thousands of copies.
It is an unprecedented seller. With the exception of the Bible in the colonies, no book has been read as widely as Common Sense is.
It was a wholesale attack on the entire world of Britain, political, cultural, and it's in slam-bang prose. No American pamphleteer wrote that kind of really tough, extreme language.
It just made people listen and made people think. At a time when the Congress would never have thought of attacking the king personally. King George III, the crown of England, they were always like, oh, he's not really getting it. It's Parliament that's our problem. The king needs to help us. He just called the king a beast in print. He was the working class intellectual. His politics were radically democratic in many ways, and that made him different from the other famous founders.
Hereditary succession is an insult and an imposition on posterity. For all men being originally equals, no one by birth could have a right to set up his own family in perpetual preference to all others forever. One of the strongest natural proofs of the folly of hereditary right in kings is that nature disapproves it. Otherwise, she would not so frequently turn it into ridicule by giving mankind an ass for a lion.
That pamphlet did stir people's minds about the possibility of a different kind of world.
Common Sense struck a string which required a touch to make it vibrate. The country was ripe for independence and only needed somebody to tell the people so. Private Ashbel Green.
Some of the founders and others thought this is the moment when we can start over again. We can actually begin the world anew. And it must have been, wildly exciting at the time. And I think it still excites us that we are the product of a revolutionary moment where the world turned upside down.
My countrymen will come reluctantly into the idea of independency. I find Common Sense is working a wonderful change in the minds of many men. George Washington.
Okay, I'm Lady Mau Mau, Craig's built-in emergency brake. If this wasn't enough for you, sign up for the newsletter. It's free, it's thoughtful, and it occasionally makes sense.